The Anti-Venom event info has been data mined. We are discussing all about what you need to get ready for Anti-Venom in this video, plus all of your questions from the Monday Mailbag channel on Discord, Dark Dimension, Iso-8, and a lot more, guys. And if you're ready for that, find that like button, and you know what to do. Let's go smash it!
ValleyFlyin.
Woo, yeah, baby, what is up, Valley Maniacs? I hope you guys are having a great Columbus Day and are having a great Monday. Hope you guys had a great weekend. We are talking about Anti-Venom in this video, guys. We have all of the latest from the data mine, plus all of your normal questions from the Discord channel, all of the Monday Mailbag questions, guys. But before we get into all that, I want to give a shout out to the sponsor of this video. There's 7.5 billion people in this world, and tens of millions are already playing Raid Shadow Legends. Why should you be one? Well, there are two ways to play. Mobile, desktop, it is up to you. There are 10 challenging dungeons and 10 challenging dungeon bosses, 12 campaign missions to tackle, 13 powerful factions, including the undead hordes, dwarves, orcs. You can choose your favorite. 460 unique champions, 200,000 active clans, and over 25 million players. You can fight players from all across the globe, and unlimited customizations and strategies, so you'll never run out of content to play. So one of my favorite places to fight is right here in this Minotaur's Labyrinth. You could get a bunch of scrolls right here, and you could use these to upgrade your mastery. And each champion has their own mastery tree. This is how I built my favorite champion, Kale. And the Artifact Forge was just released, so you can save some time crafting artifacts. There's a new advanced quest system with some really great rewards, and they got some brand new champions and the amazing Doom Tower. So what are you waiting for? Come check out Raid. And if you are a brand new player and use the link in the description, oh yeah, baby, you're gonna get the hookup. 100,000 free silver and the champion Grumbler. He is an awesome starter tank, and all your treasure will be waiting for you right here. But do not wait. These rewards only gonna be available for the next 30 days. So click on the link now. Yeah, so guys, big shout out to the folks over at Raid for sponsoring this video. And if that game looks cool and you want to check it out, use that link in the description, guys, to show them your support for supporting this channel. But without further ado, let's talk about Anti-Venom and get to your questions. Boom, first thing, we are in the data mines. This is just a data mine from a couple days ago, talking about the Walking Nightmare event to conjure Anti-Venom. So we got a couple different things going on for this event, at least from the data mine, so you guys can be prepared. This is one of those mini milestone events, not like Emma, not like Symbiote Spider-Man, but like Negasonic, like Ghost Rider, like Namor, one of these kind of events. So it is the Walking Nightmare event. You're getting a Fright Light Orb. These are what it looks like you're going to be unlocking Anti-Venom. Go into Light, earn Fright Light Orb fragments via the event milestones, and open them to earn gold, gear, and shards for characters with a limited time mass caper trait with the Anti-Venom at a higher drop rate. So it's one of these big orbs, a lot of characters in there. And if you want to see which characters are in this that have that mass caper trait, it is in game right now, so you could filter out which characters have that. But there's some good characters in there. And that is where we're gonna get Anti-Venom. How else do we get these orbs? We're gonna get some fragments for Anti-Venom, things like that, for opening these orbs. Dream Warriors milestones by you're gonna terrorize other teams in Blitz Arena using characters with that mass caper trait. Now, there are some pretty good characters that I mentioned. The Symbiotes are the one that stands out with this trait, guys. So if you just want to run through everything with the Symbiotes, maybe not Arena, but all these other things, yeah, you should be scoring pretty good score points by winning an arena and either winning or losing Blitz to earn Anti-Venom character shards and these orb fragments for these Fright Light orbs. The event refreshes daily until the Walking Nightmare event ends. We also have this Lucid Dream raid milestones. So this is a milestone that you're going to have to reach with your alliance. Team up with your alliance in raids using more of these characters with this mass keeper characters. And you're going to be able to earn Anti-Venom shards, Fright Light orb fragments, and training modules and various pieces of gear. We also have Night Terrors milestones that you can score point by carving opening Light Fright orbs to earn Anti-Venom character shards and other scary rewards. So yeah, more ways to earn anti-venom shards and bonus events. These, you're not really getting anti-venom shards, but they should help you with this event. So training day, earning 2x training modules for campaign nodes. You're getting 20% cost reduction for raid energy, heals, and revives. Re-energize the cost to purchase 120 campaign energy will remain at 50 power cores for 24 hours. So a lot of good events going on right here. Usually they run on separate days instead of all of these things happening at once, but looking like pretty good. And then the last but not least, if we scroll up on here, your nightmare is coming. You're not dreaming. The walking nightmare event is on the way, and you could earn all this stuff. So as soon as we see this in game, guys, this message right here, we know that that anti-venom event is very, very soon. I know you guys have been asking about it, and this is the latest that we have on that anti-venom event. But without further ado, let's get to your questions from the mailbag. All right, first question of the week. Yo, Valley, Matt from Bird. I hope you're doing well. Matt, I hope you're doing well as well. Is there a better way in the future to get mini uniques? The RNG on the orbs is ridiculous. The minis that are needed aren't always there. They don't show up for weeks in the store. Yeah, I know. Anybody that's been into Dark Dimension knows that it's very tough to get superior uniques. It's very tough to get through these mini uniques. And the good thing, I know, is there any plans to rework these orbs in the store? Place the guaranteed mini uniques. Now, I don't know if they're going to rework these orbs, but what they did do in chapter 1 of the Doom War campaign is they added a few of these mini uniques to that first chapter. Hopefully, and I'm very hopeful, and I think they did say this at that one point, that when chapter 2 and chapter 3 is released, I'm thinking they're going to also have mini uniques. I think this is how they plan to reduce some of the bottlenecks of these mini uniques, but it would be nice to have it show up more often in the store. Maybe adding another line to these stores. I know they did that with the raid store, and I think they did with the war store as well. So hopefully in the future they keep adding more lines that we can have more gear available and make that grind a little less, because I think once we get it to gear 15, they're gonna have a new bottleneck. So I expect them to reduce this bottleneck before they add a new bottleneck. But yeah, I think that's the best way. Just hope for the Doom War campaign and just get lucky with these store refreshes until then. But I think the Doom War is how they plan to make it a little less grindy. Next question, not really a question, but on one of your videos, you're trying to decide on what to call the anti-venom milestone event. I would like to suggest you call events like Anti-Venom, Negasonic, Ghost Rider the active character milestones, and characters like Captain Marvel, Agent Coulson, Emma Frost passive character milestones. I believe this is good for naming different milestones because of what you need in order to unlock the shards. The active milestones have a lot to do with blitzing and something you might not do otherwise to unlock milestone rewards, raiding, arena battles, while the passive ones have a lot to do with spending gold, campaign energy stuff. So these names do make sense, and what you're saying does make sense. You have to be more active with these active characters like Anti-Venom and Ghost Rider, Negasonic, things like that, and not as active with these other characters. I think from my mind and my memory, I think it's easier just to call them the minis and the normal milestone characters, but I'm probably gonna go with whatever the community uses, just so it's easy to communicate. So whatever sticks, I'm fine with whatever sticks. I think just for me, until something sticks, I'm gonna call in the minis and the normal milestone characters, and hopefully you guys understand what I'm talking about. But if something like this becomes more prevalent or another naming system for that, then yeah, I'm gonna use whatever is popular, because it's all about communication, guys. I don't really have I'm not really set towards calling it a certain thing. ValleyFlyin, does minor regeneration from the class qualify for the Cull Obsidian resistance bonus? No, it does not. He gets extra resistance when he has a regeneration on him, but minor regeneration from Iso-8 bonus, it does not count. So unfortunately, he does not get that extra resistance. So that's why the healing class is not as effective on the Black Order team as it once was thought. And there's a question about the best classes for that. We'll get to that in one of these questions coming up. But yeah, it does not qualify. Short answer of this one, brother. First, keep up all the great content. Have you, OMG Casino, heard anything about StarTech? I currently have 80K in surplus after maxing everything out. What are they planning to do with this? So I think at one time it was thought that they're going to do room bonuses for war, being able to upgrade your helicarrier, which is why a lot of people are saving this even after they added some things to the war store. And I know when this first came out in the war store, I spent a bunch of my StarTech currency on these war credits, on these elite credits, on these elite 4 orbs that we could get. Now, since then, I haven't really opened anything, and I don't think I'm up to 80K, but I think I'm up to like 40 or 60K, and it's just saving these. If you're worried about making go over, you could buy some of these other things in the war store, or if not, you could save it in case one day they do add these room upgrades, these room bonuses. But I think that's what at one time, and this was probably a year ago, they're talking about adding some bonuses to rooms, but it hasn't come into the game yet. So I'm not sure at this point if something like that has been scrapped, or if they're gonna add it later on once we deplete some of our currency. So if you're not sure, you could probably just save it like I am. But if you need some of these war credits, Elite 4 credits, or these Elite War currency credits, then you could spend it here and there so that your max doesn't cap out with all that stuff. Hope you're doing well, man. 9 characters for DD3 and are getting stumped. They're Emma, Symbiote Spider-Man, Carnage, Maw, Thanos, Strife, Coulson, Black Bolt, and Shuri. Who would you say was to be a good 10th for 2 full teams? Also, second question, DD3 is meant to be soul crushing. Yeah, it is meant to be soul crushing. It is very soul crushing, especially on some of those nodes. And I'm talking about, I think it's node 3 with all the Miss Marvels, node 7 with all the Iron Fists, and I think it's node 8 that I'm on right now. That is very, very soul crushing. After that, I think most of the other nodes are easy, but there's some nodes that are very bad. Now, you're looking at your Dark Dimension 3 team. I would say Coulson probably could have upgraded a different character, but a couple characters that you're missing. There's actually 3 that you're missing. The first is Phoenix. I'm not sure if you have Phoenix unlocked, but that is definitely a character to take into Dark Dimension 3, because like Ebony Maw, like Minerva, she's going to do some percent-based damage, and they have a very high health pool in both Dark Dimensions. So Phoenix, very good for Dark Dimension 3. We mentioned Minerva. Minerva's a very good character, so if you have her unlocked, very good character. And then Phoenix. If you have Phoenix, you want to go with Coulson to protect, not Coulson, Colossus. Excuse me, you already have Coulson. Colossus is the protector for Phoenix. So those are the next 3 characters that I would work on with you, but look like you have a pretty decent team for City. You could bring up another symbiote if you have the bio gear. You look like you're pretty good for a cosmic, but global is where you're struggle on. So Phoenix is going to be the character that makes global the easiest for you, brother. Was recently moving some rooms. Players around on war recently realized there was an upgrade tab for rooms. Any ideas, speculation, how that's going to work? So from what I saw in the data mine, and we mentioned this real briefly in a previous question, but how it worked in the data mine, it looked like you have some different bonuses that you could apply to rooms with upgrades with your star tech. I know that was discussed at one time as data mine for a while. Haven't seen too much traction for a little while now, probably over 6 months. I haven't really heard too much about these room bonuses. Ever since they added these different things to the war store that we talked about, I haven't heard too much about room upgrade bonuses for war. So not sure if that was scrapped, like I said. Not sure if that's still something they're going to go ahead with. But if you don't need to use your star tech, you could save it in case they do plan on adding this. But not much in the way of rumors or data mines or anything about this recently. So it's hard to say at this point. Next question. My team for DD2 will be Hela, Symbiote, Spider-Man, Carnage, Minerva, Scientist Supreme. Do you think that would be a good DD2 team? It will be pretty good. Scientist Supreme is a little risky, especially if you're using her ultimate. If you're just bringing her in for basic and passive, her basic and her special, that'd be good. And her passive is pretty good as well because it brings characters back to life. But that team should be able to get through Dark Dimension 3. I would prefer a way to get a little more energy for my Minerva, but I mean, I think with Hela, Symbiote, Spider-Man, Carnage, and then with Minerva doing that percentage-based damage and the healing, we good. I think for that 5th spot, instead of Scientist Supreme, I'd prefer someone like Star-Lord and maybe even a Thanos that's going to get you some energy every now and then so you could get that Minerva ultimate a little quicker. But I mean, eventually you'll get through it with this team. So if you're looking to minimize your resources, this team should be fine. If you're looking to get through Dark Dimension 2 quickly, then probably want to give someone that's going to give, probably build someone that's going to give Minerva some ability energy. All right, ValleyFlyin, greetings from Hamburg, Germany. Unfortunately, you misread my question last week. I asked you if it makes sense to invest in Black Order despite the fact that 3 of them were only 4 stars. All right, so apologize. It's a little weird last week. I recorded that video 2 times because the audio was screwed up in the first time. So rushing a little with that second version. So I might have missed it. I guess I did miss it. I apologize. But you have Thanos, 7 stars, Ebony at 5. And what are the rest? I have only 3 members. I'm gearing up. You don't have 3 members, excuse me. I'm gearing up Ebony Maw for DD3. I want to still know if it makes sense to gear up the other 3 members who are 4 stars, since this makes they have no way to get stars high enough for high arena. But excuse me, according to the Scopely blog post, these characters are all farmable. They're into orbs, so all of them are farmable. So you should be able to get them up, according to Scopely logic. But according to my logic, you have 3 characters that are really low. And unfortunately, the characters that are low are Proxima Corvus, which aren't really needed for that team. But the other one that's probably really low is Cull, and that is really needed for that team to shine. I think 3 guys that need Cull, Thanos, Ebony, and those need to be the highest. And if your Cull is low, the Black Order team is not going to work as good. You're still going to get that empowered Thanos, but that Black Order team is not going to work as good because the enemy is going to have an easier time getting through Cull. With that said, I think upgrading and stuff is going to be based on usage. If you're using this on arena offense, I might test out a few teams, see if I could beat a few of the teams on offense, and then start building them if possible. On defense, I wouldn't expect anybody to hold. Black Order counters Black Order. Black Order counters pretty much every other defensive team. So wouldn't worry about too much about defense and arena if you're seeing Black Order there now, because it's not going to hold. So would I upgrade them? I would, but that is me. I would bring them up to gear tier 14. But yeah, if you're not going to be getting usage out of him, it's kind of a waste right now. I expect one day we will get them farmable in my sense of the word. I know Scopely thinks they're farmable now, but in my sense of the word, I think eventually we will get them farmable. So I don't think it's gonna be a total waste at this point. But the question is, are you diverting resources towards Black Order? You could be spending on another team. And if you're using another team more like the Symbiotes, like maybe X-Force, like maybe X-Men, I would work on them first and then come back to this. At that 4-star level, I think it's more of a luxury with especially with Cull, Proxima, Corvus. But I would still be working on Ebony. I would still be working on Thanos, because those 2, I use them in conjunction with each other in the ultimate 7.5 race all the time. So yeah, I hope that answers. I hope it makes it clear. So it's based on usage and how much resources you have. Is it going to be better used on this team or another team? I think it is very well used on this team, but if you're not using them, go with another for now and then maybe come back to this one, brother. All right, ValleyFlyin, how are you doing, brother? How should I place my Marauders? I have it as is. Ultron, Sabretooth, Mr. Sinister, Mystique, and Emma Frost. Well, that is not the Marauders. That is a hybrid team because we don't have a Strife there. Now, since we don't have a Strife there, you don't really have a traditional tank. So I don't think the placement is going to matter as much, especially because nobody really here benefits from adjacent allies. So with that said, I think I would place Ultron on one end, Sinister on the other end. I'll place Emma next to Sinister. I would place Mystique next to Ultron, and then Sabretooth in the middle. And that's how I would go. But I don't think with certain teams the placement matters as much as it does with other teams, especially with this one with no tank, no Strife on there. So that is how I would do with this hybrid team, brother. But if you guys are using this team with success, let me know if there's a better placement, because that's just kind of theory crafting off the top of my head. I've not used this hybrid team too much, or at all actually. So if you have a better suggestion in the chat, let me know. But I don't think it matters too much with this team as far as placement. Next question, ValleyFlyin, Green Streaming, great state of Texas. What is up from the great state of Texas, brother? I'm about to finish up my first run, DD2, trying to figure out who I should use in DD3, thinking about all the symbiotes. That is a very good choice. That should get you through the city nodes. And I'm not sure if you're thinking about all 4 symbiotes or all 3 symbiotes right now, but very good choice for the city. You have Maw, Minerva. Let's talk about your Cosmic here. You also have Hela right there. So those are good characters. That should get you through Cosmic. I would like somebody else like Black Bolt or Thanos to help taking a few days off of that node, especially in that the 3rd and 4th of that Cosmic lane. So I would, if you have the resources, build up another character for that just to make it a little easier. But you should still be able to get through it if you're going real bare minimum, saving your resources with Maw, Minerva, and Hela. And then for global, you have Sinister, Emma, Colossus, Phoenix. I think you're global, you're good. If you want to build up another character and you have the resources, Shuri works well. Falcon works well as well. So you got a few different options. So I think you should be able to pass it with what you have. If you're really conserving resources, you should be able to finish it. If you're looking to do a couple more doing it in a quick amount of time. There are a few characters that we talked about that you could add, but I think you should be good for DD3, brother. Next question, Mr. Smash Stick, fist bump from California. Here's a fist bump back from Texas, brother. Appreciate all the content you bring to us. Keep smashing it, brother. That is my intent, brother. I need help finding a place to decide what tunes to build for DD3. I've got the main 6: Symbiote, Spider-Man, Carnage. All right, so that's what I would say is the bare minimum for city. On the 3rd and 4th city node, you're going to struggle a little bit with just those 2 characters, but like I said with the previous question, eventually you should get through it. Ma, you have Hela and Min for Cosmic, and just Phoenix for the global, and you're going to struggle a little bit in global, especially on some of these harder nodes. I would like to get another tune up for global if I were you. I just got to node 3. I need global tunes soon. Want to spread as little resources as possible so I don't run through all my orange gear. I know Colossus is a popular suggestion, so I'll probably head that route. That's the route I would suggest first. But I also want to complete Dark Dimension 3 without playing another 350 days. My Shuri, Ultron, Thanos, Black Bolt are gear tier 13. Help me out. So let's not talk about Thanos and Black Bolt because they're cosmic characters. Shuri does help. Shuri will help. She has defense up. She has heal block. She has healing. So there's a few things that she offers. Her defense up is not that very high of a cooldown. Ultron, certain days he will help, and he will help you a lot outside of DD3. But when Ultron's cooldowns aren't working properly, aren't set up properly, he doesn't work very well, and there's some days he might do absolute crap. The other character that I would think about if I were you, if you have her, is Emma Frost. Also a very good value for those global nodes, but I think you should be good for global if you build up another character. Colossus was my first pick. Emma would probably be my second pick, and both of them have mutant gears, so you might have to go Colossus and another character. Shuri is another good pick there as well, but I would skip on Thanos, skip on Black Bolt for now. Once you get through your global nodes, and if you're still struggling with the cosmic nodes, then yeah, build those characters up. But and if you're not looking to save resources, let me also preface with that. But yeah, couple characters. Colossus would be my first pick. Emma, and then Shuri. That is my order that I would build them for global in particular, brother. All right, howdy, ValleyFlyin, longtime audience member, first-time commenter. Love the hints that you, OMG Casino, are dishing out. I like that you give whale advice as well as free-to-play newbie advice. I try my best, brother. I try my best. It's been a while since I was a beginner in this game. Been playing this game over 2 years now. I'm probably about 2.5 years at this point. So hopefully I still can help a lot of newer players out there. But never ask, when is a good time to bring up a character? For instance, are there some support that work well with 2 stars? Yes, there are characters like Minerva that their kits are more based on what their kit does and not really on their stats, because it's based percentage of the enemies. And there's other characters that's based on their stats. For those characters, you want to build them up a little quicker. There are others you absolutely need 4 stars before they're any good. How can we tell the difference? So like I said, if their attacks are more percent based, you won't need as much. Or their healing is percent based, you won't need to build as much gold stars, red stars levels into them for them to make a difference. What are your suggestions? Certainly applies to new characters we have with low stars matching. So this is going to be different for a lot of people, because newer players, you could get by with a character 2 star, 3 stars, get them usable right away. If you've been playing this game for a while, I think, at least for me, I need them at least 5 stars for them to be usable in the content that I'm doing and the people that I'm facing in arena and war and things like that. So it'll be different for everybody, but I think it'll be, once you get them to around where your other characters are, at least collection power wise, then you can start using them on other content, whatever that is for you. For specific, some that I'm currently sitting on is Emma Frost. I would bring Emma Frost up. Emma Frost is very good. Ironheart, you could probably set on her. Bizimo, I think he's very good for war offense, and if you need another war offense team, that is another character you could do. Same thing with Ironheart, very good for war offense, but if you're not using them outside of that, I would skip on them a little. Beast, I personally have not built up my Beast, especially that 2 star level, and I think for me it's at 4 stars, and that's just not enough for me, so I'm sitting on Beast. Electro, again, that's part of that Sinister 6 team. If you don't have Doc Ock, you can skip on Electro for now until you have a Doc Ock. I think those chargeable characters, and I'm talking about Electro, Swarm, really need Dr. Octopus to really have them shine. If you don't have that, they're not going to shine as much, so you can skip on them. So out of these characters that you're sitting on, Emma Frost, is who I would build up even at that 3-star level. Hopefully you get a lot of shards for her in the milestone and can get her up to 4 stars, 5 stars, but start saving your gold, brother. Emma Frost is coming back sometime. We don't know when. We saw the blog post Friday that she was coming back, but it did not give a date yet. So hopefully this week she is coming back, but if not, save your gold and wait for the Emma Frost, because get some shards for her. All right, what is up, ValleyFlyin? Hope all is going well. In my last war, managed to pull off 31 defensive wins. Oh my goodness. 21 of them being Black Order alone. What's the most number of defensive wins for a single player you've ever come across? I think it was like 20 something. For me personally, I think my best number of defensive wins was 15, but that is crazy. 31 defensive wins, especially with 21 of them from Black Order alone. I mean, either your Black Order is super beefy and your opponents had nothing to counter it with, or your opponents just were throwing the war and wanting to make you MVP and just keep canceling their attacks. Or maybe they don't know how to fight it. Maybe they don't see a lot of Black Orders on defense, but that is awesome, brother. That I think that is the most I've seen. If you guys have bigger wins in defensive wins, let me know in the comments, or you can send it to me on Discord. Either way, brother. ValleyFlyin, question about character farmability. I know everyone is excited about Symbiote Spider-Man being farmable, as I am, but I've been thinking about how they're going to make characters farmable with releasing characters every 11 to 12 days, but only making a new character farmable once every month. Eventually, you're going to have a huge backlog of characters that are not farmable unless they increase the rate of making more characters farmable. So there was a even bigger backlog back at the beginning of 2020. The characters weren't farmable. They weren't consistent. Once in a while, they would be added to a node. And then I think right before 2020, there was probably like 2 or 3 months that got skipped, that we didn't get any new farmable characters, at least by my definition of a node in a store. So in that 2020 blog post back in February, they said they're going to add at least 2 characters a month, hopefully more. They said the first Wednesday, we would have a new farmable character. And the past 2 months, I think, is the only time that they've broken that. This month, with Symbiote Spider-Man going to an orb and not a node in a store, but they did state that they think Farmable is added to Orbs. So by their definition, they didn't break their word. Domino last month. For some reason, I didn't pick up on that. The community wasn't as upset about Domino as they are with Symbiote Spider-Man. But yeah, they broke that. But they have released at least 2 characters per month become farmable in the traditional sense. Last month, we got very short, very questionable. But we did get X-23 added to the War Store, and we got Captain Marvel added to a node. So they did get the 2 last month, and they have had 2 or more since that blog post. This month, though, if they're counting Symbiote Spider-Man, we don't get another. This might be the first month that they fall short of that, at least by my definition. So yeah, it's definitely been talked to them about that, and I don't know what they're gonna do. I think they're gonna look at the numbers and release more characters that way. It's all the bottom line. They look at the bottom line, guys, and whatever makes them the most money is what they're gonna do. ValleyFlyin currently Arena Difference running Colossus, Maw, Sinister, Black Bolt, and Phoenix 535k. My Black Order is currently 400k with Maw, Thanos fully T4'd except Maw pass. And we need to throw in a few more T4s to get the rest up and running like a well-oiled machine. When should I switch my Black Order for defense? Whenever you want, brother. I'm not sure what kind of arena offenses you're facing, but I know my Black Order team can punch up big against that Colossus, Maw, Sinister, Black Bolt, Phoenix team. And Black Order, I struggle sometimes if I don't get that timing of that Thanos flip down to right where I want it, and my Thanos flips a little late. So I have more trouble with Black Order, but I would experiment. You could try placing them in there now as an experiment, seeing how well you maintain rank. If you're falling quicker than you are with this other team, put that other team back in there and keep building up your Black Order. Mine's is probably about 450-ish or so with the Iso-8 bonuses. So they've been on arena defense and been holding in that top 50 for a while. And if I climb high enough, I'll hold in that top 20. But it works for me. I would try it, though. I find that a 400k Black Order team is going to be a lot harder for my Black Order team to beat than that other team. So try it. And honestly, there's no arena defense that holds nowadays, especially Black Order, because Black Order counters everything, especially in arena. ValleyFlyin, by Scopely's definition of farmable being in Orbs, Taskmaster, Proxima, Corvus, anyone in Premium, Mega, other Orbs would be farmable ready. So how is Domino in Blitz Orbs as a new farmable character? Yeah, their definition doesn't add up. I mean, their definition is Orbs, so it wouldn't be a new farmable character since she was already in the Orb. So Yeah, their logic does not make sense. If we just go by our logic in the community, farmable means a node or a store, and yeah, we didn't get it with Domino. We didn't get it with Symbiote Spider-Man, in my opinion, especially if she already was farmable back in before September. So yeah, she was already farmable. She's not a new farmable character, so their definition does not add up. Thank you for pointing it out, Breeze, because yeah, there's something screwy with their logic. They can't have it both ways. They can't have it farmable in orbs and then have it a new character when she's added to a blitz orb, because by their definition, she was already in the premiums and megas and she was already farmable. So does not make sense. Get your act together, Scopely. Come on, guys. Long-time watcher, first-time Discorder. Haven't been able to find any up-to-date teams to get those 3-star challenges. Any recommendations for Gold Rush, Training Day, and Catalyst? So Gold Rush, you need City for that. And if you have the Symbiotes, that is going to make that super easy. So I would go with Symbiotes. If you don't have all the Symbiotes, I would really try to bring in Symbiote Spider-Man and Carnage, maybe Venom, and then Ghost Rider Punisher would probably work on that. That is what the recommendations for the City Nodes and DD3 was before we got a full Symbiote team. Training Day, that is Cosmic. You need Cosmic characters for that, and you got a bunch of different options. You got full Black Order if you have them. Black Bolt is in there. He's a very good Cosmic character. Hela, Minerva, pretty much any team you would run in Dark Dimension 3 should be able to 3-star these Training Day with that Cosmic Node. And then you got Blasters for the Catalyst Challenge. And that's kind of tough, but you got some good characters in there. And the ones I want to highlight is Black Bolt, Crystal, Falcon, Ultron. I think with just those 4, you can force 3-star that node, but whatever 5th you have powerful enough that's not going to die. Maybe a healer like a Mantis or not a Mantis. Mantis is not a blaster, but someone that could help them survive would be good. So Black Bolt, Crystal, Falcon, Ultron is my recommendation for the Blaster Challenge. And whatever 5th you have high enough that's not going to die and it's going to survive to get you that 3-star, and that would be my recommendations. But any other recommendations, guys, for that, leave that in the comments. I pulled a 6 red star Karnak. Congratulations on that. Currently 205 out of 300 for his 7th gold star. Is he worth leveling up? And should I do minimum next time Ebony Maw comes around? So is he worth getting your shards for to unlock Ebony Maw at a higher star level? Yes, I would still be getting the shards for him. Now, is he worth leveling up as far as your gold and your training mats and all your gear? That's going to come down to usability. I think you can have a pretty really good Inhumans team with a high Black Bolt, Yo-Yo, and Crystal. And if your Karnak and Quake is a little far behind, you can still have a very good Inhumans team. So my question about building up your Karnak past those shards is going to be, how much usage are you getting out of that Inhumans team? And is Karnak being a little lower making a difference in the fights? For a lot of the fights, I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference, especially because what he does is reduce turn meter and applies Disrupted. I think he still can do that even at a 6, lower star level. But yeah, you build them up if you're using them a lot, if the usage makes sense for you. But as far as training mats gold, if you're not using them a lot, you could keep them a little lower, but definitely get his shards. So next time Ebony Maw comes back, you're ready. The 7-star Ebony Maw, brother. Next question. What is up, ValleyFlyin? I know there's a severe lack of excitement over She-Hulk coming to the game. My question is, did you OMG have to body shame She-Hulk's next? Come on, guys. You are better than that. Well, technically, it's not body shaming. It's shaming the art from the art department, who usually does a good job and usually gets all the praises from the entire MSF community. I think they missed on a couple of them. I think they missed on the art for She-Hulk. And not that she looks bad, but just her pose is bad. I think she's doing this weird thing with her neck. I don't think her neck is weird. I think just her posture is very weird. Crystal's another one that comes to mind that they didn't do a good job of. But yeah, they do such a good job and we give them so much praises that when you do something like a She-Hulk or a Crystal, I think they need to get a little shaming for that. But yeah, that is why. That is why. And yeah, hopefully, like a lot of the community suggesting, She-Hulk works very good on offense. I got a couple of emails about that, so I'll look on that, and maybe that's a video for tomorrow. But hopefully the lack of She-Hulk is just because the symbiotes are so good, and the Fantastic Four previously on offense was so good. But I was excited when I saw She-Hulk come into the game. It's just I don't like war defense characters. Next question. Can you please send the devs a message in your main character screen where the abilities, can you ask for ISO-8 upgrades you paid for to show up on the main screen so you could toggle between ISOs easily? So for example, if Thanos is a healer and a raider, you could switch them back and forth. So this is one of the main UI things that the envoys was asking the devs for, just some way to switch these very easily. Because if you go into a raid, and like for me, I want a different class of Emma when she's on a Marauders team versus when she's on my raid team with my symbiotes. That would be easy. That would be nice to be able to switch back and forth at a touch of a button. Right now, if I go into raids, I got to go back to the character selection screen, go into all the ISO-8 stuff, switch your class, go back, then go back into raids. It would be so much easier with one button. And I hope that is a user interface suggestion that they're looking to add on. There's a lot that you can do with this ISO-8. It is so new that I think there's a lot of clunkiness to some of the management of it, like you mentioned here. But hopefully that will change in the future, brother. Next question. ValleyFlyin, you're a radiant beam of possibility. Nice. Thank you, brother. You guys as a community are what prompt me to be this positive, because you guys are so positive and happy, even when times are not good in MSF. So it's because of you guys. All right. Goofy questions and a real one. All right. Why is Captain Marvel so angry at Greg? Well, she seems to be a very angry person in general. So she may be jealous that Greg is dying and coming back to life and dying and coming back to life. It may stem from that, but I think she's just angry in general. All right. And at what age, and this I think this is a serious one right here. What age did you introduce your daughters to self-defense? I'm raising a little Valkyrie myself. All right, so I think it was around age 4 that they were starting wrestling with each other. I was like, you know what? If you guys are gonna do this, you guys need to do it right, because I did a little wrestling in high school, but I wasn't good. So I wouldn't be able to teach them how to do things right. So as soon as we moved to Texas, one of the first things I wanted to look for them is a place that they could learn to do jujitsu, defend themselves, and a place that they could swim. I think those are the two most important things for kids, is swimming so they could jump in a deep end and not have to worry about drowning or anything. They can swim. You don't have to worry about them. And then self-defense so they don't get bullied. I think the school that they were at starts at 5, but all schools are different. I think you need to really temper your expectations if you start your kids at a very young age, because the retention is not there. So going, it's going to be a blank slate every day, having fun, moving your body, I think is the main goals at a young age. And as they get a little older, they'll be able to retain more information and keep the stuff that they're training. Remember the stuff that they're training. So if you start them at a real young age, just have some good expectations, brother, of what they can remember, because it's not going to be like when they're 8 or 10. It's gonna be what they are for their age. So yeah, that's all that I could recommend for you, brother. But hopefully your daughter does well, or your daughter does well. All right, love your content, keep the great work. What is the cap and expiration date Scopely put on ultra credits? I can't remember from their in-game mail. I've been saving mines and hope they reduce the cost of the store items, but I'm approaching 100k credits. I'm worried I'll max them out. So I believe that I have surpassed 100k credits and have been fine. I opened a lot of stuff early on, and I'm not sure if that's a cap that they're adding later or not. I do remember something about a cap. I'm not sure if it's a cap on Start Tech or Ultra credits though, but I did some research. I couldn't find the exact answer for you, but the Ultra Store was added in update 4.2, and that was on July 14th. Now, it wasn't added right on that date. It was added throughout that update. So sometime in update 4.2 was when we got the Ultra Store. And I am around that time is probably when there would be an announcement for the cap, but I was looking and I could not find it. So if you guys know what the cap is for Ultra credits, if there is one, I may be confusing that with the Star Trek. Let me know in chat, guys, because I was trying to find it. And after about a half an hour, I was like, this is taking too long. I could not find it. So hopefully you guys know the answer to this one, brother. ValleyFlyin, sending positive vibes your way from the PNW. Positive vibes back, brother. How does the math work with ISO-8 crystals? Is level 3 crystal worth 9 level 1 credits? Yes, it is. Is level 5 credits worth 81 level 1s? Yes, it is. If I have a tune at level 2, 3 crystals, then I use a level 3 on them. What does that mean? So if you have a tune at level 2 and you put in a level 3, that level 3 is going to be there, and that level 2 that you had previously on that character is going to be in your inventory, that you could use it for another character. Now, if you upgrade that, you didn't equip a level 3 on there. You upgraded a previous one, so that is a little different. But yes, do I get a refund of crystals? Yes, you get a refund of not all the level 1 crystals, but if you had a level 2 equip, you equip a level 3, that level 2 is going to be back in your inventory. Or is a tune partially on the way to level 4? And again, if you're upgrading characters, because there's 2 ways that you could get a level 3 on a character. by either just putting that level 3 on them because you have that in your inventory, and you're going to have a lot in your inventory over the past week or so because of that milestone event that they had. But in the future, I think the big way we're going to get these is by upgrading these crystals. So yeah, that is how it works. And yeah, 81 per. So if you have a few level 3s that are worth 9, if you have 9 level 3s, that'll be 1 level 5, you know, things like that. So just whatever you're trying to upgrade, 81 is the number that you want to shoot for, and that's the value of level 1 crystals you want for that level 5, if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. It makes sense in my mind. Hopefully it's making sense when I'm talking, and you guys are understanding what I'm saying. All right, yeah, and sometimes I'm worried about if it's in my mind very clear and I'm able to communicate it, but hopefully I did communicate that properly. You understand what that is. Yeah, 81 is the number you need. All right, Diablo says, I have Symbiote Spider-Man, 6 red stars. What symbiote would you recommend building to 6 red stars next? I have all at 5 red stars, pending Anti-Venom released. All right, so good. You have Scream at 5 red stars as well. The problem that I'm going to see with Scream and Anti-Venom bringing them up to 6 red stars is I know I'm not going to have the gold stars on these characters for a while to justify getting them up to 6 red stars. So for that, I'm a little hesitant to recommend them. Now, assuming you have the gold stars on all these characters, I probably would save it for Anti-Venom because he's a healer, and his healings probably is based on his max health, and the more red stars you have and the more max health. But like I said, gold stars is probably going to be the limiting factor, and if you don't have the 6 on Scream, you don't have the 6 gold stars on Anti-Venom, that'll probably limit you for a little while towards the original 3. You already have Symbiote Spider-Man, so that leaves Carnage and Venom, and if it was just between Carnage and Venom, I would go Venom first, Carnage second. And then, but if you have the 6 gold stars on these guys, then I would go Scream before any of those characters, and probably Anti-Venom before anybody else. So my order would be Anti-Venom, Scream, Carnage, and Venom. That's my order of my symbiotes that I would upgrade, and predicated on the gold stars. Next question. Have you heard anything about the bug where if Venom is a striker, his bonus attack can still be dodged? I opened a ticket, have footage of it, but I haven't heard back yet. Have you heard other unavoidable attack, Mr. Iso-8 bonus attacks? And we do have a response here from the next question in the mailbag, and it's actually not a question, it is a response. It's not a bug. This is how counterattack bonuses works. Many of them work differently than the bonus attack. Yes, they do. And the only place that I have found this is on MSF.gg. If you click on the character selection screen on MSF.gg, you'll see their basic, their special, their ultimate, and their passive. And above all of that, you'll see what the counter attack does. And you could switch back and forth between level 5, 6, 7, whatever level you want their basic. Some of those have a bigger translation to the counterattack assist bonus for the characters. So some do different things. Some do things totally different than their basic. Some do things similar to their basic. And some it's like a hybrid. And each character is different. So the best place to look for that is mfsef.gg. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that the counterattack and assist is what the Iso-8 bonus attack is going to be based on. So if you're looking to see what that is, msf.gg is a place for that. What is up from Vegas? Oh yeah, home of the Las Vegas Raiders, baby. Anyway, was wondering if you could explain the turn meter for me. So many times I've been in battle, guess opponent will get multiple turns while I only get a couple. It's about speed, tunes, or what attack you use. Both. There's some characters like the symbiotes, they get speed when their enemies drop below a certain amount of health. For the symbiotes, it's 25% health. They're going to get a lot of speed based on that. X23 gets speed when enemies drop below 50% health. So you get different speed bonuses for that based on the character. You also have characters that reduce speed, like Cable. He'll reduce the speed of a character. And if you look at all the characters in battle, you have a green bar that represents their health. You have a blue bar above that, and that is their speed. That's based on 1,000 speed ticks. So sometimes when characters have 50% health in the start, that is based on 500 ticks, if that makes sense. And then when it gets to 1,000, that's when they're going to take a turn. So if that never reaches 1,000, your team is never taking a turn. So that's the short answer of it. I did a video way back on how the speed bar works. I'm going to leave a thing up there for that, guys. So make sure you check that out if you want a more detailed explanation of how the speed bar works. But basically, your opponent is probably getting some speed bar added to their characters because of the characters they're using, and maybe reducing your speed bar based on the characters they're using as well. So that's what I would guess is happening there, brother. Hey, Valley, what's the best ISO-8 configuration for Black Order and for Thanos and Maw alone in Ultima 7? I don't understand exactly how Raider works. Could you tell me at least 5 or 6 characters you use this class on and why? So Raider is for characters that are going to crit a lot, and especially have those ISO-8 or excuse me, those AoE attacks. If they crit, they're going to apply targeted on the character that they crit on. And with Raider, you get a chance to apply multiple targeted on many different characters. With Skirmisher, you're only going to apply the targeted to one character. So Raider, any characters that's using a lot of AoEs, you have a chance to place a lot of targeted on the enemies. So that would be appropriate for that. Those type of characters, and any characters that have an additional crit chance. So Killmonger is another good example because he gets more bonuses based on if he crits or not. So Raider works good for those characters, and Raiders allow you to stack more than one targeted on characters, whereas Skirmisher, you can only stack one target, but you need to crit for that to happen. Now, best ISO-8 for Black Order, and this is based on the Remanx list. This has changed many times, and if you want the up-to-date list, the link will be down below, guys. But right now, as far as the recommendations for Black Order, right now, Thanos as a Raider, he does some AoE damage, especially with that ultimate of his, that empowered version of Thanos. So hopefully you're getting a lot of crits with that. Maw, best one right now, not healer anymore. And I think some of that has to do with the Cull not getting the bonuses, that resistance bonus, and his ultimate not really getting a lot of extra healing from that. So Skirmisher is who they're recommending right now for Ebony Maw. Cull Obsidian Striker right now for some of those bonuses, getting some bonus attacks. Proxima recommended as a Skirmisher, and Corvus as a Striker, and that is what I'm using right now on my Black Order. And I'm using the exact same configuration. I'm still using that Skirmisher for Maw in Dark Dimension 3 and the raids, and Thanos is still a Raider, so does not change. But that is what I'm using currently, and if it changes, make sure you guys check out the link to that Remanx list, because that's what I base my ISO-8s on. Hello, brother. How are you? Hope you and your family are safe and sound. Doubt about Arena. Yesterday I was 49 when the timer ran out, and I didn't get the prize immediately like usually. Instead, it took about 4 minutes. Today I was 59. And oh, you were 59 yesterday. Today you were 51. 5 minutes before the timer, I reset. I took a team and won. Waited until the end to win, and should have ended at 44 right after my battle. The prize was there, and I got it ranking 51. Why didn't it work? Was Slingshot yesterday, but I didn't get it today. It didn't work. Any thoughts? So Slingshot does work. The way it works is this, though. Like, let's say you were at 59 and you were going up to 51, and you did that and you finished the battle. There were 30 seconds left before reset, but someone was up at number 60 attacking you at that 59 position, and they win their battle with 15 seconds left. So you jump up, you win your battle, 30 seconds left, 59. You moved up to 51. There's 30 seconds left. In that 30 seconds between when your battle ended and when the reset for Arena happens, they win. In that 50, as soon as they win, you're going to be back to that 61 or wherever that opponent that was attacking you were. They're jumping up to not where you are at 59, but where you moved up to at 51. So there's a Slingshot there. That's how it kind of works, and it's based on the timing. So my recommendation is to get the Slingshot to work, and sometimes it can be risky. You leave as little time as possible on that timer, and you could get like a world clock app to see exactly when the seconds are going to cool down. I like to finish my battle with about 15 to 10 seconds left on that timer, and just a little bit extra just in case there's some error communicating with the server on the Scopely end. But yeah, because if you're running a little late, you'll still get the Slingshot, but you'll get your other rank. So the timing of it is what matters. I don't think it's going to switch every now and then in anytime soon, because this has been a problem that people have been talking about for a long time now. But if they're not going to switch it, at least know how to use it to your advantage. And if you are on around that time, around when your arena sets, pay attention to the time and try to finish your battle with as little time possible, because if you have a lot of time on your clock, especially around the where the payouts are different, you have a different payout at rank 100, a different payout at rank 50, a different payout at rank 20. Around them is where you're going to see the most Slingshots. So pay attention to your to the time that your arena shard ends, and see if you can get it as little time as possible with that. And some days you might go a little over and be like, oh, I need to go a little sooner. So yeah, play with it, but that's how it works, brother. ValleyFlyin, I have a question about the stream campaign refreshes. Do you only refresh the last 4 nodes at a time using 200 total cores per day? I want to do the most efficient way. So in my opinion, the most efficient way is to not to refresh the nodes. Refresh your energy and finish the hard, then go down to medium, then go down to easy. I think that's going to use less cores total, and you're still gonna get some of the shards for the scream, whatever the orb that scream is in. Now it's not going to be as good ratio as the hard. You're going to get a little less energy. You're getting a little less shards per energy as you go down to medium, and even less as you go down to easy. But I still think I would prefer that than spending 50 cores to get a little better ratio of that. I think it washes out when you start spending those 50 cores to refresh nodes on that hard. I think it's better just to go down to medium, drop down to easy if you're spending all those cores to refresh your energy, brother. Greetings from Louisville, Kentucky. Now that ISO-8 is out, do you know when we'll get a sort order for ISO-8 progression? Keep it a great order. I don't know, man. It has been a while since we've been asking this. A couple of weeks since it's been out. It's been asking this since day 1, so hopefully soon we get some UI changes for the better for the community. All right, and last question, ValleyFlyin. Hey, I've been getting real psyched on Anti-Venom, thinking about applying some ISO-8 to him. Was thinking about the striker because of his assist. When I went to the msf.gg description, it was confusing. So I do agree with that striker. That is who the Remanx and company are recommending on their list right now. So striker is the initial thoughts for Anti-Venom, but doesn't need to be tested. Now, it is confusing. What is the opposite of 1,000 random positive effects? So if you go to msf.gg, see what the counter does. And we talked about that. That is not the basic. That is not the special. It's not the ultimate. That is not the passive. That is above all of that on msf.gg. This is what that counterattack / assist is reading. At level 7 basic for Anti-Venom, attacking primary target, 178 damage, 17% piercing, applying bleed for 1 turn. All of that makes sense so far. This is where it gets confusing though. Applying the opposite of 1,000 random positive effects on this character to the primary target. So I'm not sure if it was worded that way because it's something in the lore about Anti-Venom, but I think it's easier if you just think about it. Applying the opposite of all random positive effects on this character, the negative effects to the primary target. I know that didn't make too much sense, but just think about it as all instead of 1,000, and that'll probably make a lot more sense to most people. So I want to thank each and every one of you that left a question on the Discord server. Thank you guys. Whether your question got answered or not, I appreciate every single question that is left there, guys. So make sure you're a member of the Discord and look for that channel if you want to leave a question and potentially get it featured in an upcoming Monday mailbag episode. Now, before we go, I want to announce the winner of the She-Hulk giveaway. I know it is very, very coveted She-Hulk, but the winner of that contest, sponsored by Worldwide Nutrition, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Stallman, Jersey City, New Jersey. Congratulations, brother. You are the lucky winner of She-Hulk. Make sure you respond to your email, Mikey B, and yes, he will work it out how to get your winnings towards you. But that is it, guys. Like I said, thank you to everybody that left a question on the Monday mailbag. Make sure you join the Discord and make sure you share this with all your friends, guys. All that usual stuff. Smash the like button, notification squad, leave a comment. I will see you guys next time. I stream every morning on Twitch, so come check me out tomorrow morning. Give me a Hulk fist bump before you go. ValleyFlyin, out.